Hey guys, it's me again with another episode of HotS with Kai. Today, I bring you a rank 1 3150 MMR game as Nazeebo on Battlefield for Eternity. During this segment, I'll be stopping at certain intervals to explain talent choices and other in-game decisions. Hopefully, you and I can both learn a little from this game, and as always, feel free to message me or comment below with any questions related to the video. So as their picks come in, I see that they have a Kael'thas and a Nova. And when I think of those two heroes, I think of two things. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of burst, and there's not really going to be much mobility. When I think of those things, I think of Nazeebo. His abilities can be utilized very well against a low mobility comp to maximize damage output. And when it comes to the mage high damage spectrum, he's the most survivable of them, in my opinion. He's going to handle the burst very well. He's going to abuse the mobility. I think overall he's a very good pick into this. Also, after seeing a Zagara locked in on my team, I know that we're going to have a very strong presence in this 2-lane Battlefield of Eternity map. A lot of push power between me and Zagara. Able to hold off any push they use. And she's also going to help to kind of distract the attention away from me. A lot of times when a team looks at a team with a Nazeebo and a Zagara, they're going to pay much more attention to the Zagara than the Nazeebo. So that's going to let me do my own thing with very little attention brought to me. So now coming in for them are those Diablo and Tyrande picks. That shows that there's going to be a lot of picks. They're going to be roaming a lot. Try to get a lead early. They're going to try to roll with it through picks. They're going to keep on picking us off, stunning us with CC chains. Just trying to build that early lane. So when I see that, I'm looking for a very high durability tank, such as Muradin, who has a lot of stuns that he can use to soak that damage during those ganks and to peel for his team to keep them alive and stop the enemy team from getting that early lead. Ball is also a good pick into this because he still brings the damage aspect that you need, but he has enough survivability to live through their high burst comp and to bully them around after they finish their burst and when they try for their ganks. So again, looking at their comp, I see a very high reliability on this Kael'thas. He's the majority of their damage, so we're going to be looking to take him out of position a lot. If we can consistently kill him and keep him off the map, that prevents them from having really any damage or any control, so we can take control of the map, we can build leads, all just from their lack of damage by losing Kael'thas. So he's a giant priority for us. And again, with my level 1 talent, I'm not really going to need much lane sustain because they're looking for ganks and high burst. So I'm going to need some survivability. So I'm going to skip over Blood Ritual and go straight to Death Ritual. Now keep in mind with that, if you want to get the permanent health and mana with Death Ritual, you have to have your dot running on the minions you kill. So hit them with an auto attack, hit them with a spell, make sure that your dot from Voodoo is running on the minion as they die, so you get that permanent health and mana that you need. So I see that Zagara gets caught, so I have to come down and soak bot. Just standard helping out. Although, I'm a little bit lazy here. I don't pay attention to Nova, so I offer an easy pick as I come through the gate. That's just a mistake, something I better on next time. I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't necessarily expect them to go so aggressive. And with a comp like theirs, I don't know why I didn't expect that. So that's just a mistake that I can fix next time. And now I'm looking, and I'm seeing that they're kind of sieging in this bottom lane. So I'm going to head down there, help hold them off. Just keep them at bay. And what I don't quite understand is with their team comp, they have this high pick, high CC team comp. If I were in their position, I would be looking to go top lane and build a little bit of pressure by killing the ball, bullying him off lane, making us lose some soak or at least start adjusting to them. By staying in lane like this, they're just kind of letting our two specialists hold them off and take control, rather than building their own control, which is what goes against what I thought they would do. Now here, we see that Tyrande just backed, so we know, hey, we have a new 30 heal us, they don't have a Tyrande, this gives us an advantage. So we're going to be looking to trade damage as much as possible, really bully them out to abuse our heal. And as you see, Diablo put himself out of position, so we're going to this catch here. Just try to get as much in as we can on him, hopefully kill him. Doesn't quite work out. And you may have seen that zombie wall in bin fight. It was kind of bad. Well, really, I wasn't using it to catch Diablo as much as I was using it to stop Tyrande from coming in. So as you saw at the top of your screen, she was about to come in that passageway as I threw the wall. If she would have came in and her heal would have been back, that would have been a very large opportunity for me to turn this to cause a lot of damage. So I was just trying to keep her out of it and make sure they disengaged. Here, we know that we can't beat them in a DPS race. They have very high damage coming from Tron Acidar on the Simonal. So we can't really add damage on. We're going to try to defend, bully him off a little bit, look for any picks that we can. As you see, we get one here on Tassadar. Diablo's a little bit out of position. If you get hit by an Immortal Stun, there's a very good chance that you're going to die in some pressure. Again, a questionable zombie wall. I was using it to peel off Kel'Thas. He was on the other side of that. If he would have came in, he would have a lot of damage that I didn't want him to take. So I blocked off that entryway, made him have to go around. He couldn't help Diablo, and secured our pick for Diablo. So sometimes with the zombie walls, you don't need to actually pick the guy you're looking to pick. You just need to stop his reinforcements from being able to get him. So here we're just going to push our advantage. We got some picks, we got some pressure. Onto their immortals. They have to stop us now. Here, I look at the fact that the immortals are switching, so I have some time. I also look at my mana bar and know that I'm useless without mana, just throwing auto attacks. So I'm gonna run and get up my fountain real quick, my mana back, get ready for the second half of the immortal phase, and go back to pulling them around. My teammates been out of mana as well. They sent back as early as I did, so our Cigar are back right now. That's why we're going on the offensive. We can't really defend our Immortal 3v4, just because 3v4 kind of a big deal early. So we have to go on the offensive to ultimately lose that DPS race. So here I'm going to run down, just kind of try to hold this keep. It's going to be hard to hold, but I'm going to do my best to. Notice how it's 3v1, so I'm kind of sitting behind it, playing passively, making sure they can't really kill me, because that's the last thing I want to be soaking this bottom lane. So I'm going to play safe, kind of give them as much damage as they want to force on the feet, try to soak as much speed as I can. And you'll notice my level 7 talent there. I went ahead and picked up the increased duration on my corpse wall and spiders. I got that because, again, with their very low mobility comp, I want to make those picks last. So I want the corpse wall to stay up longer to make sure that I can keep them in one place longer. I want the corpse spiders to stay up longer so they can deal more damage, because with low mobility they can't get away from the corpse spiders. So I'm just really trying to maximize the effects of all of my spells by getting that increased duration. And then you may be wondering about the level 4 Gathering Power talent as well. I actually got that as kind of a cocky thing. Again, as I mentioned earlier, most of their attention is going to be on Cigar rather than me. So I feel like I'm going to have a lot of time where I'm not dying, that can build up those stacks slowly. So that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to stay off the radar until I can get a lot of stacks and do a lot of damage. Here I'm kind of just running around in the back. They're all missing. I don't want to get up too close and end up getting picked, again with their very high pick comp. So I'm kind of playing back carefully, waiting to see if they come out and use. Now here we're hard pushing bot. We have 5 in bot lane just because, again, with all of them missing, we don't know where they're going to turn up. We don't want anyone getting picked. Also, they had 2 mercenary camps pushing in bot lane. We needed to clean those up very quickly before the Immortals could pop. Now here you'll notice I got really close to Diablo. That was actually on purpose. By baiting him into stunning me and throwing me over him, that was a good second and a half that he actually stunned himself by trying to use abilities on me. So that allowed for an easy pick on him to get us some pressure for some more wins. So I'm going to build some more natural stacks. Again, this pressure, we caught Diablo and Tassadar. It's a 3v5 in our favor. We know we can bully them out, so we're going to go on the offensive, get as much damage to Simorgh as possible, and just keep trying to. So here we get the Immortal switch. We're going to back off. We know we can beat them with a half Immortal. We're going to make them out of position. Sadly, our Ether gets a little bit caught, so we're going to try to make up for that with our own kind of damage, just kind of get any poke in we can with it. And we end up losing Uther and Muradin, so we're going to back off. We're going to try to get a few pot shots in, but mostly he's going to go to soak. I'm out of mana here, so normally I would just leave, get my mana back, but I see that they're chasing Thrall and Zagara, so I want to kind of turn them off by that, by showing my face. If they see the third body here, they oftentimes won't notice I'm out of mana, and will back off anyway. So although I was useless, I was just there for support, basically. And with level 10 talents coming up here, I think I'm probably going to get the Gargantuan talent. This is because with their team comp, again, the Nova, the Diablo, the Tyrande, the Kael'thas, they have a lot to punish me if I'm standing still stunning myself, so I want to keep my mobility. I want to build up as much burst as I can by the Gargantuan. I want to stay very mobile. Now, if you look here, we split them up with a great Thrall ultimate. Their Diablo is now alone. He doesn't have an ultimate to abuse our backline. His help can't really get to him. He has to just stall and hope that his carries can get to him. He can't really run from us too easily. He doesn't have any damage for our backline without his ultimate, and his backline's currently pretty busy with our Muradin. Now if you look at Nova, she just got stunned by the Rupture, and she's setting up herself perfectly for that Thrall at the top of the screen. She's sitting there stunned. She has no real way of dodging the wolf coming in to root her next. She's going to get CC chained and taken out of this fight right away, and there's nothing any of them can do to help her. So they're basically starting this fight off 1 man down already, just from this catch on Nova. So if you look now, you'll see that the Kael'thas is in the back with our Muradin. Our Muradin's got great positioning right now. He's distracting Kael'thas. He's making sure Kael'thas can't advance to help his Diablo. And he's making that Tassadar make a really tough decision between helping Diablo or help Kael'thas. So he's doing a lot of disruptive things right now in the back of that team. Also, you'll notice that Tyrande isn't here. So they're starting this fight 4v5 anyway with no ults, and they lose Nova right off the bat. This is a 3v5 with no ults, and you can go nowhere but downhill from here. So as you see there, I missed my corpse wall. I probably should have waited later, knowing that Diablo has a charge, he could just charge through. I should have saved my corpse wall, used it later. So you'll notice here that Tyrande just came in the fight. She came in from the top of the map, where our team already was, splitting off her from her team. So all she could really do was throw a stun, throw a heal, and then leave. She doesn't have Shadow Stock, she's out of position, there's nothing she can really do to help. If I were her, I maybe would have tried to come in at the bottom left of the screen and tried to peel her team out and get everyone out, rather than trying to come in the top to a fight where they're already retreating. There isn't really much she can do. So as you see, she just leaves. We clean up the fight, we take the Immortal. So here, I see Tyrande being a little bit cocky. We're gonna go for the pick on her. Sadly, I missed my skill shot by just like a quarter of an inch. I was so close, but left just a little bit of a gap between the gate for it to slide through. And that's just another mistake. It happens when you're playing these games. That's what makes it fun. So here, we know that we have level advantage, we know that we have pressure, we know that we have morale advantage from that last team fight, so we're going to try to push with this Immortal and get some major pressure. So here, as you can see, the Diablo's Apocalypse really splits our team. We have me and Zagara way in the back, and Thrall and Muradin way in the front. They're very centralized in the back, and way good position right now. Not realizing this, our Muradin jumps up forward, he gets himself caught. I run up too far, I get myself caught, and we lose all of that pressure we just worked towards. So our Zagara and our Uther get back off. Luckily for us, the Diablo and the Uther decide to chase a little bit farther without their Tyrande. They end up getting caught, and we can regain a little bit of that pressure. So that's much better. They couldn't abuse the 2 catches on me and Muradin, as they overchased, they lost their tank and their main source of damage. There's nothing they can do now, so we go back to pushing. So if you see our advantage, we don't have to take any damage. Here you also see Tassadar stays with low on health, he gets himself picked. When you're low on health, guys, just back out of the fight, you're gonna get picked if you try to stay. Also here with my level 13 talent, you'll notice the ice block. That's just to give me a little bit of burst survivability with all of the bursts they have coming in. They have Apocalypse, they have Tyrande stuns, they have Kael'thas, they have Nova. That's a lot of burst coming in, so I'm going to pick up an ice block just to try to live a little bit better and keep those gathering power stacks running. I'm just going to jump up real quick, get some more death ritual stacks, and then back up because I don't really know any of their teams, what the team is. We see those mercs going bot, so our first thought is that we need to balance the pressure. We're going to try to get the ones top. We aren't really in position though, and again, we don't know what the team is. So we're just going to stall this out a little bit, wait for our whole team to get here, and force these mercs down. I use the zombie wall here just to help tank some of the damage from the mercs. A lot of times if you wall them, they'll just auto the zombie wall. You save a lot of damage on yourself. You'll also see I have to pull off here because my team's not really coming to help and their team's missing. If I stay on these mercs, there's a good chance that my teammates get caught and bad things happen. So I have to pull off and kind of stay with them a little bit. As you see here, another Thrall ultimate picks Nova away from her team. She's very vulnerable now, and although the rest of her team is well organized, she's out of there. They decided to go in anyway, which I wouldn't recommend. And because of the fact they weren't in position, they didn't have their Nova, there's a sloppy engage, they lose their Tyrande and their Diablo right away. So we can just roll through their keep here, pick off Tassadar along the way. And although Nova ended up living, her team gained so much to save. Again, knowing they don't have a healer, I'm going to try to get as much damage as I can. I can be healed back up, they can't. If we get damage on them, they back. That's exactly what we want. So yeah, I'm going to take a lot of damage, but I'm also going to deal as much as I can at the same time. Just trying to bully them off and get us some more siege damage in. Here, we know we have level advantage. We know that we have position advantage. We know we have control of the map. So we're going to go on the offensive, try to do as much of this Immortal as we can before they can do anything against us. As you see here, the opposing team bottlenecks themselves, setting themselves up for the Diablo to get caught in the zombie wall. And although it's not much damage, it's enough to get him out of the fight. It's enough to keep him out and establish us that full defense pressure that we want. So we're going to force this fight a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. As you can see, me and Zagar are very far back and our tank line's very far forward. So we end up losing our Uther and our Muradin there, so that's very bad. We get Kael'thas and Tassadar, so they just lost the majority of their damage, and Nova extended a little too far. So yeah, we lost 2 people, but they lost all of their damage. So we still know we have pressure, we still know that they can't really hurt our Immortal without that Kael'thas, Nova, and Tassadar. So we're going to back, we're going to fill ourselves up, and then just go easily take their Immortal, because, again, their carries are dead, they can't necessarily stop us. At level 16, you'll notice that I got the Enhanced Poison. That's a rare talent. You can bring a lot of the talents in the 16 class actually have their own place. I like the Specialized Toxin in this case, because I haven't really spec'd my Corpse Spiders. I'm specking for this Gathering Power build. I'm looking to burst as much as I can. An extra poison damage is going to help with that. The Leaping Spiders is going to help your spiders stick, which again, they have very little mobility, so I don't necessarily need them to stick. So that's why I go with Specialized Toxin. You'll notice here, I overextend very far. It leads to me getting caught, dying. Again, every death loses some pressure. Luckily, they're so split up that we can force a little bit out of it. As you can see, Tyrande is split at the top left of the screen. Kael'thas is in the very center. And Tassadar is to the bottom right. He just went invisible, so you can't see him. And Diablo's at the top of the screen. So they're very split, they're very vulnerable, and we can abuse that. We get the Diablo. Our Muradin can bully Kael'thas, who has no peel anymore. Their Tassadar and Tyrande are both out of position. Is positioned very poorly and split up. So this leads us to clean them up. And although I'm dead, we still have our Thrall and our Zagara, so it's very easy. You may also notice the Gargantuan still slamming and dealing quite a bit of damage for Kael'thas. Keep in mind that even once you're dead, you can slam on the Gargantuan, deal some extra damage if they're in the wrong position. You can't control the Gargantuan, but you can still cast his Slam, so don't just spam it, use it when they're in position to take damage from it. So that can be a strong asset instead. So here, they lost their Kael'thas, they lost their Tassadar, they lost their Diablo. We have an Immortal pushing the top lane. We have very strong pressure, so we're going to push down this keep. We're going to see how much damage we can deal, because they can't stop us right now. There's nothing they can do. After pushing down the keep, we notice that our Immortal still has half its health and is going on their core. Realizing that a half health Immortal can do a whole lot of damage, we're going to push up with it. We're going to try to keep abusing this pressure and just end the game. Keep in mind in situations like this, you want everything you can hit the core. So coming up here after a lot of spells, they don't hit Tyrande, who appears to be the target, but all of them hit the core. Every damage on the core is very important, so make sure that you hit the core with all of your spells. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed these HotS thoughts with Kai. Again, if you have any questions, just comment below or send me a message and I'll get back to you.